hard IQ is a transformational technology. It's a way for you to get upgraded in your life. And I think upgrade is an important word, and it's an important distinction, say, over getting fixed, getting healed, getting better. It's a healing process, but we heal through an upgrade. And what I want to talk to you tonight about is the process that I'm calling imprinting. Imprinting. Is everyone familiar with that word, to imprint? So, for example, when we grow up, our parents imprint a lot of our behavior, our thinking, our way of being, humor, societal tendencies, norms, the way we interact with people. A lot of habits get passed on. Generational pain can be imprinted to our children and to their children. So emotional, energetic, and physical traits can get passed down and be shared amongst a species or a community or a tribe. In healthy tribes and traditions, societies and cultures, there's a natural healthy imprinting. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Most people in today's world, men are growing up not having a clue of what it really means to be a man. Women are growing up and they don't have a clue of what it means to be a woman. It almost feels like a lost art to intuitively know who are we in today's world, because we weren't imprinted necessarily by healthy sisterhood or healthy brotherhood, by healthy mothering or healthy fathering. So a lot of what we grew up with was a dysfunctional, distorted, or toxic version of what we inherently yearn for and feel intuitively is healthy. And so imprinting is the way it is, and we are always imprinted, but now we're imprinted by technology, by Facebook, by our friends, by schooling, by religion, and all the other things, conscious and unconscious. So we can't get around the fact that we're being imprinted. But what hard IQ is a transformational technology that consciously imprints healthy and sacred versions of what you yearn and are destined to be. It's even an upgrade to being imprinted in ways that aren't even available in our culture, because it's new, it's coming from a different place. There's an upgrade available here that makes us, dare I say it, even superhuman, not separate from others and better than, but I'm talking about an upgrade whereby we're not just going from dysfunction to function, but from function to extraordinary function that we didn't even know was possible. And to me, that's very, very thrilling. There are usually two stages in traditional culture and tribe that are critical. Boy to man, man to God, girl to woman, woman to goddess. These rites of passages and initiations require imprinting from others in the tribe who have that frequency active and online. There are qualities, rhythms, certain ways of being that others need to imprint on us, and they can only be imprinted if they are modeling it and embodying it fully. So nobody could teach what you need to do but ignore who they are. In other words, it's not do what I say, ignore what I do, which is what a lot of people talk about. We literally have to be the example in order to imprint the example so we could walk in life as that upgraded version of ourselves. Is this making sense so far? Now, what we do here, to bring it back to here and now, is that in front of us is this mat. And it's, to me, a canvas where we can practice the art of living and being who we're destined to become. It is a playground. It is a safe zone to try on new ranges, to receive imprints, and to be shown new ways to be in the world. So, for example, here, surrounding this mat, there are 36 souls, 36 brilliant human beings. Each one of you has lived a life different to everyone else. Every single one of you has met circumstances, hardships, experiences. Some parts opened you, some parts closed you. You've been neglected, you've been wounded, you've been hurt, you've been the whole gamut. If we were to extract the stories from the 36 of us, we would be amazed by the richness and depth of what was here in this space. We've each cultivated mastery in specific areas. Each of us. Now, you may not think so you have, but every single one of us has something that's online and activated and open and available as a resource. And the beauty of coming together as a collective is that we need what each of us have to offer. And so this week we get an opportunity to imprint on each other, the collective imprinting onto the individual to upgrade the way that you operate, the way your nervous system runs, and the way you live your life. These imprints commonly go in themes. So, for example, a lot of women, they are not in connection, for example, with their sacred, sensual, most self-loving part of themselves, because they've never been shown or activated or imprinted by other healthy women who have that naturally turned on because they weren't wounded in that area. So for you to try and get on the mat and activate it yourself doesn't make sense. It's hard work. It's a long journey. But we have people here that could show that range, and then those that need that range can be imprinted and can begin to model and work on opening and bringing that alive and turning it online within themselves. And that's what we begin to do for each other. We gift each other with the parts that we've already developed and harnessed. And so my job this weekend is to become the orchestra's conductor, to find out who's ready to upgrade and how can we tune and turn these instruments to play music and create art so that this person gets the imprint that they need for the next stage of their life. Whether it's to upgrade the next part of a man's masculine, sacred self, or whether it's coming into divine feminine, or whether it's coming into a range of fire and power, or a range of stillness and sublime relaxation. And imprints aren't always about, what we need to express, but they can often be things that we never received. It's like, I didn't know what it felt like to receive the love of my father or the love of my mother. I don't know. It's not in my system. So I operate with this toxic masculine protective shell where I can't surrender because I'm always having to protect myself from the world. Well, that's great. It's good to track that. And it's one thing to know it. It's another thing to try and do therapy on it. But what we do is we go straight to the imprint of, let's give you a healthy version of that, let you feel it, let you practice it, and let you feel what that feels like to actually experience that in your body. And this is where the rub lies, because you're going to get an opportunity to get those imprints that you've yearned to receive all your life. But there will simply be a profound memory unless they are brought into daily life as a practice. Imprints that are re-experienced over and over again become new ways of being. But shown once, it becomes a peak experience. Shown multiple times, it becomes a profound experience. And a profound experience always changes something in your life forever. It's the difference from having a jacuzzi experience, which just feels good while you're in the jacuzzi, versus actually having something that's permanently available for you. No matter what you're doing, as soon as you wake up, you apply it to your relationships, to your purpose, it's boom, it's there. For example, I don't need to work hard to access fire or a sense of motivation or ambition or drive or clarity. It's there, it's available because it's been practiced. It's a habit. It's there because I cultivate it and it's imprinted and I'm completely confident in that capacity. Some of you might want more of that. Then you can be imprinted by me in that way. But there's certain things I can't imprint. There's nothing to do with masculine and feminine, but women need initiation from women. Men need that from men. And sometimes we need brothers to do men's work and women to do women's work. And that's just the way that it is. We don't have to do it alone. That's what imprinting means. Can you imagine without any help at all, navigating life without being shown, without being modeled? Oh my God. But there are people out there doing it on their own. You know, one of my most precious relationships is the mentorship I have with my teacher called Jerry. Some of you may have heard of him. Some of you may have even seen him at the 2012 Heart Summit. And this is the guy I met in the desert in Tucson, Arizona in the year 2000. And he is the model to which I hold impeccable, sacred masculine. So in his presence, I get to witness what it looks like to be an embodied, conscious, open man connected to his sexual power. So he has been the primary imprinter of my life. So when I first started Heart IQ, when I didn't even know it was called Heart IQ, I spent years just being in his presence. That was all I did. I went, flew there, and I lived with him, and I watched. And I watched. And then I mimicked. And then I modeled. And then I tried it on, and it felt fake. And people were like, what are you trying to do? That's not you. Who are you trying to be? But gradually, the habit became a reality. And that's how we become superheroes of our own lives. This technology is something I wish I had 20 years ago. This is an accelerated awakening space where imprinting can occur rather than over decades. It's like flying